Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Critical Reactions with your host, Bryan. We're going to continue on with this week of an excessive amount of blank. We're looking at our penultimate song for the theme. This one is Unexpect's Desert Urbania. Urbania? I don't know. I'm told it has an excessive amount of layers, which is honestly extremely exciting. Let's dive into this and see what Unexpect has in store for us today. Ooh, yeah, dude, that cymbal work. Yeah. Yes.
So much better we get by.
What is going on here? Dude, that bass though. That was a good tone. Yeah, man, that bass.
Truth is a savage sun, blinding the senses, nations proclaiming kings and red friends. In this perspective, I prefer copies to humans.
Yeah, transferring that guitar riff to the piano right here. Yeah, and a recontextualization of this piano part. That was a guitar part a few sections earlier. Yeah, moving from punk to this halftime double bass kick beat. Another halftime feel. man.
Orchestrated wonders is a way of thunders. Orchestrated wonders is a way of thunder.
Heavy triplet feel here, which I think works so well, since it's mostly showcased in the piano, really allowing for that 6 against 4 feel. This is a very weird section. It almost feels like felt like the guitar and what was playing under it were at odds as far as chord structure goes. Whoa! What is that? What? Oh man, I can't think of what that instrument's called. It's like a wood thing with a bunch of divots in it. You just run a stick over it. And some detuning here to make it sound like it's falling apart. Honestly, the whole song felt like it was falling apart. I don't know how they did that. Really letting it go too. I think that's it. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there that was unexpected. Sorry, I had to do it. I really don't even know where to start with this, just because of how incredibly dense it is. Oh, the guiro. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. That's what my middle school teacher always called it though, the guiro. Yep, that's it. That is definitely it. Let me for those who don't know what this is, get some pictures up here. Where is this? This one? Yeah. Oh, these are super tiny. That's kind of working. Anyways, so they have these grooves in it, and you got a stick, and you just kind of run it down. It makes this really nice, like tactile, clicky sound to it. And a lot of musics also tend to put taps in it. So you're like ta 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 ta, and that's a terrible rendition of it. I promise you. It sounds a lot more soothing, at least to me, than my mouth rendition of it. But yeah, so very interesting to hear that at the end. It's not an instrument I hear too often in rock music. So yeah, very cool to have that. I love that instrument. It does not pop up enough in what we talk about here. Um, So yeah, going back, unexpected, lots of unexpected things, layers, wild combinations of things. I don't even know where to start. What's the song structure here? Um, this is an incredibly dense song in very many aspects. I can't even speak correctly after listening to this. I almost want to say that the excessive layers description might be a bit underselling what's going on here. So, as with anything that is going to be incredibly deep with a lot of stuff going on, I fear my analysis is going to be a little shallow. But let's get into it and let's see what we can land on here. So, the song is pure chaos. I'm sure there's a rhythm to it, there's a rhyme to it, there's patterns throughout. Nothing that I could pick up on a first listen though. There are a plethora of instruments, several instruments used multiple ways, and they create a sound that I believe is larger than they are. And what I mean by that is, suppose they have seven-ish people in the band. We got guitar, bass, piano, drums, and three vocalists. That sounds about right. There might not even be three vocalists. It might be two vocalists, but I'm kind of hearing the two panned harsh vocals as different. Well, there's only one male clean though. Okay, so we have 6 to 7 instruments in the band, or 6 to 7 performers. There are at least twice that sounds being created, and a lot of it sounds like it could be done live with people jumping back and forth between instruments. And I enjoy that. I love that. I don't have anything against using backing tracks or whatever is necessary to put on a show, but there's something special to me as a musician about having everything played live. So being able to hear that is just really cool because there are usually only ever 7-ish, 8-ish instruments going on at one time. And a lot of this expanded timbre that they have comes from different ways to utilize sounds they already have, such as the vocalists having a harsh and a clean, or the guitars having different settings to have a clean sound or a rhythm sound or a electric, or like a distorted sound or a solo sound. And yeah, like I said, they make a song that sounds bigger, sounds like there's more people in it than the number of people I think are actually in the group, and that's very cool. Now, a lot of what drove me through this track, and I'm not sure if this is the same for everybody, and I'm just going to get into it. Novelty. I'm a sucker for novelty. I am. I listen to a song, and if you've got something unique going on, or if you're subverting expectations, or whatever, I'm here for that, even if it's not going to last across multiple listens. You get a song with irregular time signature changes, like Dance of Eternity from earlier this week. There's a lot of novelty in that the song is constantly changing and going against expectations by lengthening or shortening bars constantly. But once you've listened to it 50 or 100 times, you kind of see those phrasing changes less and less because you start to have the song memorized. You understand the ebb and flow of it. And that's what I mean by novelty. Things that are interesting on a first listen but might lessen as you listen to it more, rather than deepen your appreciation for it on subsequent listens. To actually use the Dance of Eternity idea again, your appreciation for the composition might grow, while due to the immense number of time signatures being used, but the novelty of the 100 or so time signature changes is going to lessen and lessen as you listen to it more. So one thing the time signature changes in that song can both be a novelty and something that you grow to appreciate more over time, just in different perspectives of how you view it. So yeah, this song I think is full of novelty. It is constantly doing weird things. And by weird, I just mean things I haven't heard before. Not necessarily weird that they don't work or weird that they're wrong, just new to me. They're doing things that I would not expect a band to do. They're combining a lot of really different sounds. We have a lot of classical elements in the music itself, but we also have a lot of hard rock, metal kind of elements coming in here. And we're sort of pairing this classical side with a metal side, but not in a way that classical metal tends to be. Classical metal? Symphonic metal. That's what I'm looking for. Not in the way that symphonic metal tends to blend them seamlessly. This tends to blend them in a sort of abrasive manner where they're at odds with each other. They both exist, but they don't want to be. It's like an oil and water scenario in this case, where the two elements stand out rather than come together to create a cohesive sound. We have multiple instruments simultaneously doing things that are not just foundational or atmospheric stuff. We have a lot of things that are going for spotlight elements, and they're all going off at the same time, and the production on it is also interesting because of the way different things get EQ'd or panned. It's just a wild display of energy that's constantly doing things I'm not expecting of it, which, like I said, it's really novel, and I really like that. Something else that kind of fits into that novel aspect is just how electric a lot of these sections are. And it's not electric in the same way as something like Car Bomb. Like, Car Bomb has electricity, they have energy, they have momentum, they're constantly moving forward and changing things up. This is more of a restrained sort of momentum, I guess. Although I think I might just be using restrained in comparison to something like Car Bomb, because Car Bomb is just such an extreme case of sort of what they're doing here. There's a lot of rapid changes going on here that is reminiscent of something like Car Bomb or man, what's that other band? I don't know. Something in the vein of that, though. So this song definitely goes through rapid changes, constantly altering their sound on a dime. One bar will be doing this, the next bar will be doing this, then a ragtime piano comes in, and then we got like a swing metal drum pattern, and over top that we're gonna have like this operatic female singer, and then two creepy, not growly, but just like five vocal talking things going back and forth. And yeah, it all just comes together quickly, rapid fire, jumping between these really strange combinations of ideas in succession. And yeah, I think that's my big takeaway here is just how wild everything is. And it makes me want to go back and check it out again. And of course, dive into more Unexpect, which the name sounds familiar. Have I checked out Unexpect before? Yes, I have. The song was Unsolved Ideas of a Distorted Guest. And the thumbnail for that video says, how many layers are they working with? Oh man, I probably said this was week 29. Golly. So this is definitely a band I need to check out because it appears that I enjoyed them the first time. I enjoyed this one. I don't know why I haven't dug into them deeper yet. Anyways, so let's dive into this a little bit more because I keep getting sidetracked. They exist on this other level of compositional structure. And I really don't know how to parse that on a first listen. There are certainly elements that I feel get reflected over time. It's not whole sections though. I mean that I see elements being reflected. For instance, um, having the female vocalist centered and the two male vocals panning and kind of having this argument overlapping each other, but not being perfectly in sync. So instead of doing like four beats on the right and four beats on the left and then four beats on the right, they'll do that. They'll work in four beat patterns, but then we'll do four on the right. But on beat three, the left one will start his four. So there's going to be a one beat overlap. But maybe on beat two, it goes back to the right doing his four beats. And so it definitely has this structure of four beat phrases. But when the phrases come in and how they're overlapping, it's constantly changing. But this concept showed up at least another time in the song. And it's just, I don't remember the music behind it just because it's so many layers, so many things coming at me. This song is more on the pleasant side of Sonic Assault. We've talked about Sonic Assault before. There's just so many things happening at any given time that it is just like constant sound coming into the ears. Usually I refer to this for stuff like Wall of Sound or black metal with their tremolo picking and the bass just like going all in on these bass kicks, which I'm gonna have to come back to because this song had some of those crazy bass kicks in it. Um, so yeah, I don't remember what the music was under it, but that vocal idea came back again at least once. I think it might have been twice. We also saw a reutilization of musical ideas. We had a guitar doing a run. I think it was like starting at a higher note and coming down. There might have been a couple of like bounce back up, so it has like this movement to it. But overall, we're starting at a higher note, ending at a lower note, and there's a bit of a ride in between those two notes getting there, and that's the riff, and he keeps playing it over and over. After like four repetitions of it, it gets passed on to the piano. And I was like, well, that's cool. We get a little bit of this passing on the idea to new timbres. Well, like two sections later, the piano picked that idea up again in a completely different section and recontextualized it against, different instruments or different lines or whatever else was being played at the time. And there's probably a lot of this, which I would not put it past them given how densely layered these songs are. It makes a lot of sense to make a handful of ideas and just sort of pass them around everybody and reuse stuff that you've already done. I've talked about in the past that it's just a really strong tool for a composer to take something that's already written and recontextualize it. You can give it to a new instrument, you can put it in a section that it wasn't in before, you can invert it, you can reverse it. There's no need to reinvent the wheel. If you've already written something, use that again. It's your work. You showcase it in a new light. And I think this is a band that does that very well. I've only noticed two, and like I said, I'm fairly certain if I check the song out again, really listened into maybe the guitar work or listened into what the violins are doing, just like one instrument for an entire listen, just really hone in on what they're doing. I'll probably hear ideas popping up all throughout here, little ideas of motif that are used as embellishing ideas. And yeah, it's just, like I said, it's what I would expect from Unexpect. It's what I would expect from a band who's writing something so dense like this, is to reuse ideas. It really is just the smart way to go about keeping the song fresh while also seeming to, I don't know, to me it showcases a bit of maturity as a composer to realize that reusing ideas is not cheating, that it's not sloppy, that it's not lazy. It's actually, to me, a sign of a strong composer who's confident in their work. And this is definitely a group of people who I would say are very confident in their work, in their art. Um, Going back to the double bass kicks though, what is going on with the feeling of this group? The drums dictate a lot of the feelings of this different sections. whether they're going in with double bass kicks or they've got like a punky uh, upbeat kind of vibe going on, or they're hitting the offbeat, or they're hitting the onbeat. They dictate the feeling of so many of these sections. And the crazy thing is, they're taking inspiration from so many genres. We have punk, we have black metal, we have some rock in here. I would even say that one of the sections has more of a classical feel to it with a more restrained drumming element that focuses more on textural ideas rather than rhythmic ones. It is their drummer is bringing so many different styles and ideas into this group, while the other instruments tend to sort of stick within what they are best known for. The guitars really play around more with the rock and metal ideas. The strings bring a classical edge to what's going on here. The vocalists, I would say, are kind of closer to the drums, where they're bringing in a couple of influences. We have some like more comfortable chest level clean vocals. I mentioned that one time. I'm pretty sure the vocalist went into sort of an operatic type of singing. The male vocals, we had this nice chest voice. We have the growls or the fry stuff. I think the female vocalist also did a bit of fry at one point. And let me tell you, man, those fries are kind of creepy. It's not a full-bodied growl. It's not a belting fry scream. It's more of just like putting fry on a really creepy voice and getting like a gremlin sound out. Not like the gremlins, but just like the idea of like a monster who's just speaking normally. And they're all doing it, and then we got the panning going on. It is very unsettling. I don't know if anybody else gets that. Maybe that one's just me. I was not expecting that, and it definitely threw me for a loop. But yeah, so the drums are bringing a lot of stuff, the vocalists are bringing a lot of stuff, and then they just have a lot of timbres that, even though they might be working within a smaller amount of genres as far as inspirations and what sounds they might be bringing to the song, we do have a lot of these timbres that are bringing, singular ideas into the track too. So the track is just all over the place, and their band name is just, it's perfect. It really is. Now, the lyrics are about as much of a mess as the music is, and I don't mean that man, that came out wrong. The music's not a mess, but the music is chaotic. It is a controlled chaos, and I would say that the lyrics definitely embody that. There is probably a rhyme, a reason, a core theme hidden beneath all of this metaphor and colorful writing. It's going over my head though. I've said before, poetic analysis, that's not me. I'm here for the music, and I will break down any music. But if you want me to apply your musical themes to your lyrical ones, I'm gonna need your lyrics to be a little more straightforward. Oh man. But I will say that there are some really cool things going on in here. There's some words in a language that I don't understand, which I think is interesting. There's a lot of words in here that I don't know if they're English. If they are, that's interesting. There's a lot of very large words, more like I said, kind of colorful. We have voracious. That is a fantastic word that I don't think gets used enough. I honestly don't see it enough in music either, especially for metal. Voracious is a metal word, right? But yeah, then it's also just it is talking about something in a very metaphorical way, and it's enthralling. Honestly, I have no idea what they're talking about, but the way that they're saying it, the words they're using, the phrases that they're utilizing, yeah, it's done in a very gorgeous way. And then, of course, they've taken that and just rapid fire, multiple voices delivering it all at the same time. Just making acid coffee is one of the things they say. Lucid, mummy, ghoulish caress, acid coffee. What in the world? All right, those are my thoughts on Desert Urbania by Unexpect. I am enthralled by them. I'm going to have to go back and check out that other one we did. I don't remember what it's called anymore. Check that one back out. This only has 2 tracks on this album. That's interesting. Avant-garde metal. Yeah, I can go with that. Those are my thoughts on Unexpect's Desert Urbania. This is where you guys come in. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know if you enjoyed this or not. Let me know if you agree or disagree with anything I said. If you have any thoughts on your own, maybe something stood out to you and I didn't even touch on. You're like, man, how'd you miss this? Go ahead and let me know. Above the comment section, there's a description box, and in there is a link for Linktree. It'll take you to this place right here. Fantastic resource for everything related to the channel or me. You can join the Patreon and vote on future songs and themes. You can submit a special selection, follow me on Twitter, join the Discord community, check out what I've been listening to, check out the music I've been making. You can email me, all sorts of stuff. Check it all out. Everything is there. You can also buy merch. Like, man, buy some Critical Reaction merch. We got shirts, we got totes, we got coffee mugs, there's stickers. Above the description box, if you could, like, subscribe, and ring that bell. I think you're supposed to smash the like button. I don't know. I don't follow YouTube trends, I guess. We got another video coming out a minute ago. It's a special selection for today. It's a long one. We got some avant-garde. I think it's an 18-minute song or something like that. If you're interested, that video is already out. Go ahead and check that one out. Otherwise, I'll be back tomorrow for our final day of the week, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 p.m. UTC as usual. We'll be looking at our final An Excessive Amount of Blank song, as well as a creator request where I check out a smaller band. They get in contact with me. They say, hey, you want to look at our music? And I say, yeah, let's do it. All right, until next time, remember to be critical but not cynical of the music you listen to. Have a fantastic morning, afternoon, or evening, whenever you choose to watch my videos.